threat of climate change is an existential one, and the fight to save our planet couldn't be more urgent. In Colorado, we see the impacts of climate change tangibly all around us. Rising temperatures across our state have led to snow melting faster, which causes increased flooding and erosion and negatively impacts Colorado's freshwater supply, 70% of which comes from our snow. Faster snow melt can also impact wildfires in Colorado, which have become more frequent and more intense and can further exacerbate drought conditions. In Colorado, we're proud to be surrounded by treasured public lands, lush wilderness, and a booming outdoor recreation economy driven by our national parks and our forests. Rising temperatures and the impacts of climate change are also a threat to these beautiful places. At Rocky Mountain National Park in my district, recent studies have shown that temperatures have risen 3 to 4 degrees, significantly affecting the plants and the animals that call that park home. In Colorado, we've experienced a disproportionate level of damaging climate-related disasters. In 2013, 7 years ago, many of our towns and counties were devastated by historic flooding. And in the past few years, we've experienced hailstorms the size of baseballs and ongoing drought that have caused crop losses for farmers. For Coloradans, climate change is simply not something to prepare for in the future. It's here, and it is now. And the solutions to act boldly and solve this crisis must also be here and now. When I ran for Congress, I made clear that fighting climate change would be my first priority, which is why I worked to secure a seat on the Select Committee on the Climate Crisis. The committee was empaneled to take stock of the climate crisis and to craft a comprehensive roadmap for how we create substantive societal change. And over the course of the last 18 months, the committee has done precisely that. We've held countless hearings, including traveling to Colorado to hear from the many renowned climate scientists at our federal labs and from the local leaders who've taken ambitious action in the absence of federal leadership. And we're now introducing a new report to lay out a path forward. The Congressional Climate Action Plan outlines climate change proposals for our public lands, our infrastructure, our energy systems, for our farmers and workers, and for our future. It highlights specific policy recommendations that can set us on course for solving this crisis, including my plans to expand zero-emission vehicles and clean energy to reduce our carbon emission levels, revitalize our nation's conservation corps to restore our lands and our forests, invest in regenerative agriculture research to capture the natural solutions that exist already in our earth and our soils to help remove carbon from our atmosphere. The plan also incorporates my proposal to safeguard scientific integrity and to modernize our federal labs to ensure scientists are equipped to conduct research and find solutions that will be critical to addressing this crisis. The Congressional Climate Action Plan, if put into effect, would set the country on a path to achieving net zero carbon pollution by the year 2050. It would save us $8 trillion by that time and ultimately 60,000 lives annually. Together, we can, we must, and we will adapt, solve, and act. It's the only choice. The Congressional Climate Action Plan proposes a roadmap, and it is our job to make it a reality. Congress must swiftly act on these recommendations to begin to address the existential threat of our era, for future generations, and for the future of our planet. There's simply no time to waste.